This is Unit 2, Lesson 8. Now you try example number 1. So fill in the reasons for the statements below. Given G is parallel to H and angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, prove that P and R, lines P and R, are parallel to each other. So first, they already have it on the diagram, but I'm going to mark what they gave us. So they gave us G and H are parallel. Those were indicated by the arrows, which I just went over. And then I marked angle 1 and angle 2 congruent using the little congruency marks. So here we only have to fill in the reasons. Some of the steps are more condensed than what I am requiring of you in this unit. We will see later on for other proof problems that you can condense some of the steps, but again, we're in the learning phase, so I would prefer that you do the steps that we need. So we know the reason for the first statement, I at least hope at this point, is given. Right? They gave us that information. So the next thing that is stated is that angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. Notice that G and H were given to us as parallel, so we know that by corresponding angle theorem. Which states that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the corresponding angles formed are congruent. You can state that as well if you don't remember the name of the theorem. So again, I told you have two options. You can either state the name of the theorem, in which case you would have to memorize what that theorem says, or you can state what the theorem represents. If we are given two parallel lines, the corresponding angles then must be congruent to one another. So now we can say that angle 3 and angle 2 are congruent to one another. Why can we say that? Well, we know that angle 1 and angle 2 are the same, angle 1 and angle 3 are the same, so that is substitution, or transitive property. And why can we now say that P is parallel to R? Again, you have two options here. Notice that angle 3 and angle 2 are another pair of corresponding angles, so we can say if two lines cut by a transversal such that, what kind of angles do we have here? The corresponding angles formed are congruent, then the lines are parallel. What theorem did we just state in that? Again, you can state either what we just said, or you can say the converse of corresponding angle theorem. Either one suffices. So either that long sentence that I just wrote, or you can say converse of corresponding angle theorem.